Tell ourselves the truth. What is going on in the Northwest is the Hausa-Fulani fight. We don't mention it. That is the bottom line. The Fulani man feels anytime he comes to town, he's molested, he's killed. The Hausa man believes that the Fulani man, using his headsmen, enters his farm and destroys his crops. So it's been a long time, I'm sure you're aware, it's been a long time issue that had not been addressed. So it's a political issue that should have been settled before. It had been allowed until it evolved to what it is today. Now, acts of criminality now came in. When acts of criminality came in, they felt that now, because the borders, I mentioned the issue of porous borders where weapons are moving in and out, and that's why they felt that, yes, since their cows are being attacked, they too should be protected. And that's why you see major of them carrying arms. And before you know it, those that didn't have cows started into acts of armed robbery, small stealing, until it graduated to what it is now. Then the Boko Haram, with the hit they got in the Northeast, a lot of them moved. So it's a convergence of criminality that has come together to build up to what the acts of banditry. And the only way they make money is what? Kidnapping. When they kidnap, they make money. Now, the state governments, yes, in order to address that, I personally support Civilian JTF. We use them effectively in the Northeast. But how did we apply them in the Northwest? What we did, the communities were the ones that identified youths that had character, that were reliable, that were honest. They brought out those names, gave the state government. The state government brought them in, profiled them with the police and the DSS, the State Security Service. And then they were now handed over to the military. They were trained with the mandate to protect their communities, not to go and attack any other person. Because one, the military, the armed forces, we are not many. We can't be everywhere. There is no country that have security forces everywhere. So their own intent is, the mandate for them is protect your community while the main forces are coming. So you delay them until that. And that's how we have used them. And frankly speaking, they've given us a lot of, because one, they know the areas very well. They know the area. They can tell you where IEDs are, which roads are clear and all this. And so we use that correct. But what we found out in the Northwest is a lot of this were not done. And the danger is, don't ever allow a training to be viewed, the perception of that using one ethnic group. Like I told you from beginning, the issues were Hausa-Fulani. Now, if you have Civilian JTF that is only Hausa, what would the Fulani feel? He will feel threatened. And that is what is causing the problem. If you sit down now to look at in Katsina State, how many have been killed so far? Because one, they operate in Northeast, they operate with the security forces. There is no operation they don't go together. So the security forces will give them that experience and the tactics to use. In this other area, they want to go alone. And you know that they've started also vendetta, starting to also settle personal scores. So they've derailed from the main objective of protecting their communities to settling personal. Some of them now have started settling land issues, marital issues, things that are not part of what they are supposed to do, because again, they were not controlled.
On the issue of the Northwest crisis, CDS, you say you didn't mention it. It's a delicate, it's a delicate thread or delicate line to discuss about the Hausa-Fulani issue. If you ask me what is the difference between Hausa and Fulani, I'm an Hausa-Fulani man. Most of the gentlemen you see here, they are Hausa-Fulanis. Perhaps when we listen to the efforts of Katsina State tomorrow or thereabout, the deputy governor or with the commissioner for internal security will be able to tell us what is it really. But our moral values have decayed. From our roots, the traditional leadership system has been eroded. You can see back home what happened. The traditional rulers have been made to look, next to nothing. And they play a significant role. While growing, I never gave them a space. I was never their fan. But, when I grew into an adult, I got to realize that, yes, they contribute a lot to the security of our local communities, which also speak to the issue of, community policing.
So virtually almost everyone. And I also want to appreciate the fact that the herder-farmer clash laid the foundation of where we are today. Of course, there was that crisis before. But what is happening today is criminality, and the issue of control of resources has also set in. We have abundant mineral resource, and most of the illegal mining activities that is going on in the country